Hello, person watching this video. Welcome back to Mac Music Review. I just wanted to mention that in the comments, in the description for this video, I should say, you can see what I'm going to review next. You can see how to request an album that I'm going to review and all that good stuff just in the description. So if you're interested in this channel, if you're interested in what I'm going to review next, that's the place to go. Today, we're going to be talking about the album Kings and Queens by the Christian alternative rock band Audio Adrenaline. Just before I hop into the review, I'd like to give you a little bit of a history of the band. Well, not really history of the band, history of this album, I should say. This thing was highly advertised on the radio as a bit, well, I shouldn't say highly advertised. It was, they talked about this a good bit on Christian radio, about this was the big comeback for Audio Adrenaline. This was the get together for the band. They hadn't done anything for several years. And interestingly, this comeback, this return for the band, isn't really the same band at all. According to Wikipedia, this album only has one of the original band members. That it was the founding member. I don't know his name, but yeah, there's only one original member, and he just found other musicians from other bands and brought them together for this project called Kings and Queens. Most notably, he brought the former DC Talk member Kevin Max as the lead singer for this band. Kevin Max said he was really excited to be a part of this band. He said he really liked Audio Adrenaline, so that's pretty interesting. All right, now that we did that quick little history lesson, little information behind the actual album, let's talk about, the actual album. What is this thing? What does it sound like? Is it any good? I mean, all, the stuff that makes up an album review. This thing is a tight 10 tracks long. It doesn't try to overstay its welcome. It tries to just get in some core songs, get in some core sounds. Doesn't want to overstay its welcome. It tries to be a brief, solid project. That's at least what it aims for. Luckily for these guys, out of those 10 songs, one became a big hit on Christian contemporary music radio. I mentioned it in my review for Audio Adrenaline's Sound of the Saints, the song Kings and Queens. Now, the big question is, what does this album actually sound like? Well, if you listen to it, you know what it sounds like, but if you haven't, I'm just gonna sum it up for you. Just about half of this record sounds huge, big, awesome, epic. Those are just all synonyms for the same sound of this thing. Songs like Kings and Queens, Believer, I Climb the Mountain, and Raise the Banner. These songs are just huge. They're just larger than life with epic singing, epic drums. Just try to create like a big, Lord of the Ringsy kind of experience for the listener. Some other songs in this album are really upbeat, peppy, a little bit funky even. The opener, He Moves, You Move, is just a really fast, fun song. It's really quick on its feet. And the same can be said of King of the Comebacks, with some quirky lyrics and just kind of it has a pop rock sound, but it's all very fun. Doesn't take itself too seriously. Change My Name and Fire Never Sleeps are the most straightforward tracks on this album. They're just, more than anything, they're rock songs. A little bit of it's not hard rock like old Audio Adrenaline, like screaming guitar and screaming music that's just really noisy. They're just more casual, more enjoyable for the easy listener, for the casual listener of Christian contemporary music, something that they could digest more easily than the old Audio Adrenaline sound. What I just described sounds a little bit like pandering, making music for a wider audience, getting rid of the real fans, pushing them to the side, and just trying to make music that would make more money, have a wider appeal. Despite that, I think this album sounds great. Nearly every song on this album hits its target. The huge songs on this album, Kings and Queens, Raise the Banner, Believer especially, I Climb the Mountain. These songs are just huge and epic, and they just take you on a journey. They just make you feel awesome, like you're part of a big story, and they just work very, very well. The lyrics work really well. The music just sounds awesome, and Kevin Max does a really great job. He gives some really good power and strength to these songs with his voice. The more straightforward tracks on this album and the more upbeat ones also sound really good. He Moves, You Move is a ton of fun. When I first found this album, this was easily one of my favorite songs on the album. Just listen to it all the time. It's just really upbeat, really gets you moving, really, really enjoyable song. Fire Never Sleeps sounds really good. This is like a really cool rock song. King of the Comebacks, A lot of fun. Not a perfect song, but it is pretty upbeat and it does feel pretty good. The only song in this album that I'm not really feeling, the only song in this album that when I first heard it, I didn't like, and I listened to this album again, I still don't like this song, is Seeker. This song just doesn't do it for me with the music. It's more simple. The music sounds more simple, more stripped back with basically just an emphasis on the singing. And it feels a little bit awkward. It doesn't sound great. Lyrically, it's not bad. It's one of the stronger cuts, I would say, lyrically, but just the music, just not feeling it. Doesn't sound great. Despite this song, I really like this album. The Audio Adrenaline did a great job on this thing. Nearly every track is a win. I especially like the really big, ambitious songs. When Audio Adrenaline shoots for the stars on this album, they hit the mark. These songs are just epic. They're huge. They make you part of a story. They just feel epic. One of the songs, what is it called? Raise the Banner. Raise the Banner tells a story. Takes a story from the Bible, story of a battle in the Bible. It's a tongue twister. Takes the story of a battle in the Bible, and it's just epic. You don't hear this usually in Christian contemporary music, the story of a battle, a biblical battle, and it just gives it all this power. Kevin Max does a great job. The lyrics are awesome. The music just makes you feel like you're watching like a Narnia movie, or you're charging in the battle, you're raising the banner. I mean, just epic song. The less ambitious moments on this album also work very well. I wouldn't say they're as successful, but they sound really good. Fire Never Sleeps, King of the Comebacks, He Moves You Move. All these songs are a ton of fun, very enjoyable pop rock songs. Just, they sound good, they're well sung, lyrics sound cool. I mean, just really good overall. When all is said and done, Kings and Queens is a very solid project. I really like this thing. It's especially solid in a genre, the Christian contemporary music genre, where everything sounds the same, where almost everything is made for money. This thing made money, but it didn't sell out to make the money. This one actually sounds really good, made the money, huge payoff, really solid, really solid album. I'm gonna give this thing 4 stars out of 5. I found this album out in 2013 when it was released. That's when I first heard it. I really liked the hit. I like Kings and Queens. I listened to the album. I really like this album. Coming back to it now, I still really like this album. It still sounds really good. I'm not going to give it higher than 4 out of 5 because lyrically this album is not fantastic. Some of the songs I would say have great lyrics. Others are either a little bit generic or even a little bit awkward. King of the Comebacks has the lyric "When the Fat Lady Sings," and other similar lyrics that just feel, and just the chorus, King of the Comebacks, it feels a little bit corny, a little bit weird. And The Answer also has some offbeat lyrics. Like in the chorus it says, Kevin Max is talking about God and how he's the answer to his problems. He says, "I know you're the answer. I know it's true because I tried it out." That's kind of a weird, kind of an awkward lyric. I don't really like that very much. Have you listened to this album? Do you like this album? Do you dislike this album? You probably don't dislike this album. Unless you're like one of the OG Audio Adrenaline fans, and I don't think there are very many of those. I don't think they were ever that popular. I could be wrong. I wasn't born in that time. That was like another decade. But do you like this album? Do you dislike this album? Can I do anything better? Is this lighting really bad? Is this really bad? Is it bad how there's like this light here and how it's like there's like light back there, but like I don't know, man. Is the lighting really bad? Is my face really dumb? I think I have kind of a big nose. Just any commentary, any criticism, constructive criticism or non-constructive, I'm ready for it. Alrighty, guys. Next video, we're going to be talking about my all-time favorite pop band in the world, AJR. I'm hyped. Get ready for that video. All right, and that's about it. You guys have a good day.